What we want to do with the Assad group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level of service, because that's what clients want. Hi, I'm Kim Assad with Compass Real Estate. I've lived in Texas since I was 11 years old, and we've lived in Grapevine since 2002. Grapevine is a great area to live in. We love the downtown area. It's like an old Western movie with log cabins. It's known as the Christmas capital of Texas, and we're really proud of our city. We love living here. Our kids grew up in the school district, Grapevine Colleyville ISD. We love their education and have been proud of just the relationships and friendships they've made in the community here. There's been all walks of life, from lots of stay-at-home moms to working parents that do a lot of volunteering for the schools. And that's really kind of how I've met a lot of my clients, is volunteering in the schools, whether I'm the teen mom or in the booster club, or volunteered with NCL National Charity League, or with my son through Second Saturdays. We've had a great time just meeting so many people in the community. I've been in real estate since 2000. I'm actually a civil engineer by degree, married a civil engineer, and then I got my real estate license back in 2000 and just have loved it ever since, because I love working with people and just the relationship. Real estate is really a relationship business. It's about developing relationships, somebody that trusts you, and that we can help them accomplish their real estate goals. I was a broker on my own before, and I joined Compass because I just love the image and the support that I have with Compass. I mean, our ads look so professional, our listings look so desirable, and it just helps the client out because I can get their homes sold faster. But I have the Assad group under Compass. I've grown that with 2 agents initially that have been great agents, and then now my family's even joined. So my husband, who joined Compass about a year ago, and then now my son. You know, I just want to welcome your business, and if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking for a rental, a purchase, to sell your house, or an investment property, just call me.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here alongside Grapevine Mustang head coach Mike Alexander for week 4 of the Team 103 season of the Coach Alexander Show. Special thanks to Kim Assad and Compass for the sponsorship again this year. We're here live at Bottle Cap Alley in Grapevine, Texas. Let's hear it from our Mustang fans. Coach, we've said it before and we'll keep saying it. Coaches' shows always go better with victories, and here we are again coming off another victory.
Yeah, Matt, you know, you're not lying there. Kids played good the other night, and we were we needed to as homecoming, and we have one job on homecoming, and that's to win the game. And first half wasn't exactly what we, scripted, but kids came out second half and played really well.
Well, if we're being honest, I think the Northside Steers missed the memo about your homecoming and the fact that your job was there to win. They came ready to play, and the first half was great. They looked really good.
Their head football coach is doing a great job. If you look across, and you and I talked about this a little bit earlier, but they're making a lot of headway just with their whole program and the band and this, getting support for people coming out watching them. So they're doing a good job over there, and it was a good win.
Well, there was a lot of comments through the stands about the energy level from the players, from the fans, from the band. So kudos to them for doing such a great job. But now you move on. You're 1-0 in district, 3-1 overall. Had the big homecoming win. But let's talk about what your players did the morning after the big win with your meal marathon. Quite another Grapevine Mustang success story.
Yeah, no, they did a great job. I got a little slide here on the computer to show what our boys were doing. So, we really preach serving others in our program. I believe that God put us here on this earth to serve other people and not serve ourselves. And we got a message from Compass Church that earlier in the week that they needed some help. And they had a meal marathon plan, but they needed some help. And so I didn't even bring this up to our players until about Thursday and said, hey, guys, I need some help, man. These guys need us to get in and do some work, and we had a whole bunch of guys show up and work for a couple hours. the same day that they also had their homecoming dance that night. So, it was a sacrifice, but our guys are, they're engaged in their community. They want to serve. They want to give back, and it makes me proud as a coach to see them doing stuff like that.
Well, you've worked real hard to keep these guys proud to be a Mustang and serving, so kudos to you and them for doing that.
Yep.
We'll bring the DNA guys up in a little bit. Let's talk about the freshmen and sophomore. It's going to be a busy week this week. Of course, it's crosstown rivalry week. We'll get to the Red Rail game in a little while, but it's going to be a lot of freshmen and JV action this week.
Yeah, so, Matt, we've managed up until this point so far to play 4 sub-varsity games every week, two freshman games and 2 JV games. And interestingly enough, this past week it got a little scary if we were going to get to play everybody or not. But so here's what happened. We sent our JV red team over to Fort Worth to play Northside, and they took care of business, and I believe they won 36-14, maybe something like that. Did a great job, played well, set the tone for Friday night. And then our freshman A team and our JV blue team had to combine because we couldn't find a game, but we'd already had a game scheduled with Allen's one of their sub-varsity teams, one of their JV teams, and so we sent our freshman red team and our JV blue team all the way to Allen, and they got a W, and they played well and won up there. So that was a really neat deal. Seeing two classes of kids, a bunch of sophomores and freshmen to play together, which doesn't happen often. And so that was good. And then we played our freshman blue team at home, goodness gracious, against Lake Highland. So we're, and playing the Fort Worth schedule, they don't have a lot of sub-varsity teams, so we have to get creative sometimes. But we're getting better at the sub-varsity teams. They're growing. They're getting better at running our offense and playing better defense. So we're excited about where we're headed.
Well, and it's going to be a busy week this week, of course, with Heritage. Some over there, some over here between the freshmen and JV. So look forward to hearing how that goes. Well, before we get into the actual game and the highlights, let's jump ahead and meet some of our DNA players here. And I get to do the interviewing this week, so I'm going to put these guys on the spot here.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, first up, Attitude Award winner this week, Reed Watkins. Reed, we've never really met, so this is fun to get to do it on camera live. I hope you're at least a little bit nervous. Oh, you're fine. You're a senior. You can handle this. So you get the Attitude Award this week. Before we get into your answer, tell me about what it looked like when you broke through and had about 90 yards to run the other night.
Well, Alex Hogan, left guard, came around and set a great block. Sorry. Alex, left guard, came around and set a great block and cut right off his hip. And I just saw green grass all ahead of me. And I was staring up at the Jumbotron, making sure no one was going to chase me down. And just adrenaline pumping through my veins, and it was awesome.
But I know you were tired because I was tired of watching you run that far. I had to sit down after watching that long run.
Yeah, I was a little tired when we got to the bench and got some water, but yeah, I was a little tired.
Well, so you get the Attitude Award. Tell us how Attitude has led you to getting more opportunities on the field.
Showing up to practice every day with the right mentality, just being ready for when my number's called, just going to work every day, encouraging my teammates, and just taking advantage of every opportunity I get.
Well, it's paying off. You got on the field and you got that big run, so congratulations on that. That's our Attitude Award winner, Reed Watkins.
Thank you.
Next up, let's get Maddox Stanley up here. Another kid I get to meet for the first time on camera. Don't be nervous. So tell us how the competitive spirit has elevated you for the JV roster during the summer to the starting and the homecoming game.
I mean, it's just really made me want to, work harder. Last year I didn't really want to hit too much, or I didn't really want to be at practice, but this year I just have a brotherhood that loves me, and I love them, and I love working hard for them and going out there and performing.
Did that come as a process over time, or was it just like a light bulb went on and you said, I'm going to start hitting?
It's kind of like a click. Like, I just really wanted to get out there and play for them. Last year, on JV, you don't really know one. You don't really, know nobody, but the varsity guys all seem like foreign to you, but now they're all part of a brotherhood.
Well, very good. There's our Compete guy. Let's hear it from Maddox Stanley, this week's Compete Award winner. Next up, we're going to have Brady Wagner, our Tough Award winner. I'm getting to meet all kinds of these guys for the first time on camera. This is awesome. So you're the tough guy. Being a tight end is, of course, dirty work out there, and it's even a little bit dirtier sometimes in this new Veer offense.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about what that means and what's some of the toughest stuff you have to do out there on the field.
The toughest stuff I have to do out on the field is probably the perimeter blocking. Going up to the safeties is probably one of the hardest parts of my job. Making sure I get good leverage and good football positions really what goes through my head on that. And
You ever looking for the pancake block out?
always, yeah, always. I always try to get a shot on them just because they're a little smaller. So, I mean, if I can get a hold of them, they're going on the ground.
And that's why you're the tough player of the week. So congratulations on that. Let's hear it for Brady Wagner. Next up, we got Caden Cook. He's our family award winner. And first things first, Caden, I really like that shirt. Being a Horned Frog grad,
Oh, yeah.
very nice.
Big win on Saturday.
Big win on Saturday. Go Frogs. They had them down 28-7 and kind of let them back in the game.
Yeah,
so that
close,
was,
but
yeah. But hey,
away.
we won in
That's
the
right,
end. So
that's right.
anyway, so Coach A says receivers have to be tough and unselfish. Why is that so important, especially in an offense like this?
I mean, it's really. I mean, we run the ball a lot. We all know that, but we just got to block and be tough out there because, I mean, that's kind of a responsibility now. We're not as much of receivers, but we're more of we're more blockers now, and kind of become accustomed to that and just taking advantage of that and just help the team win by blocking instead of catching.
I had a son that played in this for this program a few years ago as a wide receiver, and he got to do a lot of blocking downfield. And he said, you know, catching touchdowns is fun, but we're really going to win or lose based on how well we block downfield. So
And pancaking people is pretty fun too. So
keep pancake all you can. Hey, especially this weekend.
yeah.
Especially this
Definitely.
weekend. Okay, we're not supposed to say that, but we just did. So anyway, let's hear it for Caden Cook, our family award winner. Next up, we got Alex Holgan, our discipline award winner. Speaking of a pancake specialist, we've got a real pancake specialist with us now, but you're the discipline award winner for the week. Why is that so important, especially up on the offensive line?
Because you got to be disciplined, like with your hands mainly and your feet and pass level. You always want it to be right where it needs to be, and your aiming point is everything in the offensive line.
Well, and pancakes really kind of stand out. The offensive line never gets all the credit they deserve. That's where it's really won and lost in the trenches. And you guys are the ones that make it or break it up front.
Very true.
But I will say, if you get some pancake blocks, it does show up and you get a little more attention. But, hey, congratulations for being a Discipline Award winner this week and getting some credit for that. So
Thank you.
let's hear it for Alex Holgan, our Discipline Award winner. Last up, we got our Fight Award winner, Hunter Lasher. Doesn't know what question's coming. And Hunter's been here before, so he's no stranger to the whole DNA thing. But he's a stranger to me, so this is going to be kind of fun. But I did notice at one point there was a little activity on the field that might have gotten mentioned by a coach after the fact. Anybody mention something about not standing over somebody after you tackle them?
Yeah, I got in a little trouble for that. It probably wasn't the smartest decision, but
Is that going to happen again?
no.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Just curious, especially not when Coach Alexander's standing right behind him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the question for you. You don't know what's coming. You were leading at halftime, 21-14, but things weren't exactly going swimmingly, as some people would say. Tell us about the halftime locker room and how the coaches felt with the performance.
It was just like trying to get us back on track and trying to get us fired up again. We came out not as hard as we should have and not as fast, and so they just wanted us to go back out there and fight. Yeah, play hard.
Get back to playing Mustang football.
Yes, sir.
It paid off on the first play with a fumble.
Yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
then the second half, you all outplayed them 35-7. So whatever they said or did at halftime, it seemed to work. So
Yes, sir.
it did. You ready for the Red Reel game?
Yes, sir.
You going to bring it home this year?
Can I? Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we have it on camera, so now we've got it. So let's hear it again for all of our DNA guys.
That's funny.
So the final score winds up at 56-21. Those guys are so glad that part of this thing's over with, I can assure you, and you may be too. But final score is 56-21. It's 21-14 at half. Had a lot of great highlights. Let's go look at them and talk us through what was going on Friday night.
All right, that's great. So I grouped these this week, Matt, by defensive highlights first, and then offensive highlights. We'll watch them in a group.
You got to
like
be
that.
fair to the defense every now and then.
Yeah, no doubt. We didn't do this a lot in the first half. Everybody doing their job and fitting. We were having some issues with guys really just trying to do too much. But this is a picture of Maddox Stanley coming downhill, being physical as a tackler. Everybody doing their job, setting the edge, and so this is one of Maddox's many highlights this week. And then flip it. This is in the second quarter. Similar type play. Now the quarterback's going to keep it. He's just reading our defensive end, forcing the fit. And then you got backside pursuit from the backside defensive end and Drew Nelson coming up and finishing him off. Very physical play there by Tristan Sneed and Drew Nelson right there. Wham. So good job defense. I think this is the same series. One of Hunter's big plays right here. We played the pass well, Matt, the other night, both first half and second half. And that was a play you were talking about where Hunter was kind of giving him the business afterwards.
I had a feeling that might get mentioned on the sideline.
So, yeah, Hunter's playing with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. The reason he got talking to was he had already got a 15-yard penalty earlier in the game for a late hit. So,
but I would defend him on that one. I thought that was a little bit of a weak call, but
maybe it was. So here we go. Quarterback zone read. Dalton Knapp doing his job, coming underneath the block, and then playing back into the quarterback there. Dalton, he's an athletic outside linebacker that in this front we're playing him at defensive end. Just great job, individual effort there by Dalton. All right, Hunter's coming off the edge, sets the edge well, turns it back right there to Latham Way. They're a good combination when they're working in tandem. Latham's being good and physical right here at the point of attack. Hunter's being physical.
Want to give kudos also, if you notice on that play, Drew Nelson collapses from the very far back.
Yes, sir.
And he's doing so with a cast on his hand. It didn't seem to slow him down or affect him at all.
Drew broke a bone in his wrist and or his thumb area, and so he's going to have to wear that for a little bit. But fortunate thing, we're able to, kind of dodge the bullet on having to get surgery during the season. So he's a tough kid. He's going to push it to after the season.
It didn't seem to bother him at all, so good job for him to keep it up.
They had a good running back, Matt. Number 6 was good. The quarterback was a good little runner. They made us work for sure. And then here we go with our offensive highlights. This is a new wrinkle we brought out this week. Hadn't done it all year, and that's just running a little inside zone and throwing an RPO to fastest player on the field. It's always a good idea, right?
Exactly.
Get the ball to Rondell in space. Good blocking out there on the perimeter. That was actually Sammy Kelly, I believe.
Speed kills, as they say.
And he's got plenty of it for sure. Got in a little bind, got a little third and long right here, and Evan drops back, good protection, throws a dime to Caden Cook, catches it on the run, first down. Very efficient. So we're more than just a running football team. We can throw and catch when we need to, and you're going to need to from time to time. Good blocking up front. Parker presses the zone front side. Got to work on the ball security at the end of this play, but you can see the big boys doing their thing up front, and Parker finishes off runs as well as anybody. He's got to take that ball and keep it tucked away. All right, here's the big one right here. Reed Watkins run a little power. We don't block it really well, honestly, but Reed runs through an arm tackle right there that makes the safety miss, and he's going to go the distance here. I didn't know they look at the Jumbotron. That's an interesting little
I have heard that in the past, that they will look up to see if anybody's collapsing behind them. Yeah.
Players over here were telling me, that's how Caden says it's how he knows where the ball is when he's blocking. DB. So good for Reed, man. He's worked hard. I'm really proud of the work he's put in the last couple of weeks, earning more time on the field. Another RPO right here, getting it out to Caden fast, letting him just do some, sometimes those receivers do so much blocking, it's good just to reward them with a nice, easy ball and let them go to work,
And that's just as simple as make one guy miss and take off.
Yep. We're going to block the one. You're responsible for the other one. But good job attacking it downhill there. Another little RPO to Rondell. This time he does get away and punches it in for a touchdown. That's going to make us a little tougher, a little tougher to defend in our run game right there when you know that we will throw it out there to Rondell.
It's hard to protect the middle and the edges and everything all at the same time.
CJ pressing the zone front side, the same play Parker scored on earlier. Okay, offensive line doing their job, and then hand the ball to talented running backs. This is the result. We're getting good movement up front. CJ hits it with speed. That's how it should look. Then Parker running a little power play right here. Actually, sorry, this is counter. I apologize. So you got Roman pulling and kicking out, and then you got I think that's Hank Miller following him up in the hole. Parker makes one miss.
But almost all of that until the very end was in between the tackles.
Yep.
That was very impressive.
We'll watch it right here on the end zone copy. Say that. Here we go. Got big boys up front moving bodies. Then Parker does the rest with his legs. All right, DeMontrez done. This is getting close to the end of the game here. We're running the clock out. DeMontrez makes a guy miss. Great blocking on the perimeter right there by Caden Cook. You see number 7 at the bottom of the screen, staying on his guy. Matt, I'll tell you this, not everybody's receivers put in the work that our guys do on the perimeter. They're unselfish. They do a lot of good stuff for their teammates. Really proud of them. I got one more highlight for us, okay? It's Caleb Bell, senior, coming in there. We had about a minute left in the game, and I was so proud of him. The official asked me if we were going to take a knee, and I said, Caleb's got to run the ball, And so we run one more play before we were going to take a knee on the next one, and he popped it, Really proud of that kid. Doesn't get a lot of time on the field, but he definitely made the most of it here. And good job on the blocks, too, up front. That was our second offensive line getting it done.
Beautiful hole right through the gut. Well, very nice. So it winds up 56-21. Of course, the day started that morning with Ray Serta at Breakfast of Champions. Men, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You need to be there if you can. 7 o'clock Friday mornings, Fieldhouse. Great message for the players. Great message for the dads. This week we had Ray Serta. What did you take away from Ray Serta's talk this week?
Really just life is going to hit you. When you least expect it, it's going to hit you hard at times, and you can't control everything, but what you can control is your response to it, and he's made a choice in life to not live a life of bitterness or anger, but to make the most of what his situation is currently. And so it was just a great reminder too to me when he talked about, that he immediately had forgiven the driver of the car, and that he held no ill will, never did. And I thought, man, that's such a great lesson in life, to know, be able to forgive somebody and give grace. And so it was a good message, Matt.
It was great. For those of you who don't know, Ray Serta was a Irving football player, track star, president of his class at the high school, had a major accident, became a quadriplegic. So at 16 years old, he goes from being a superstar to a quadriplegic. And it was interesting to hear how quickly he forgave. 5 months in rehab, but now he's lived the rest of his life in a wheelchair. But he succeeded, and he wrote a book about the life he didn't expect and how to win despite that. And what an impressive story. And I hope the kids understood, like you say, life doesn't always give you what you think you're going to get, and it's how you respond. And I don't think there's a better example of how to respond to that. But That being said, we'll have Breakfast of Champions again this Friday. And that Breakfast of Champions,
Red Rail game.
Red Rail.
Yeah.
Red Rail, it's time to bring it back home.
Yep.
So tell us from a coaching standpoint, with all the emotion, these kids all know each other. Let's talk about Red Rail and the Colleyville Heritage Kitty Cats.
I was talking to WFAA today and Mike Leslie because they're broadcasting the game as well this Friday night. And so I was talking to him, and he was asking about the rivalry. And I said, it's the most unique one that I've ever been a part of because of, we got all these guys over here. And if they didn't go to Cross Timbers, they probably went to school all the way through 8th grade with somebody that they're going to compete against.
Absolutely.
On Friday night, which is wild, So it's an interesting rivalry. It means a whole lot to these guys. It means a whole lot to our parents, our communities. We are a big family in our community, but not on this night.
Not on Friday night.
Not on Friday night. Friday night, it's
that ship has sailed.
No, it's a feud, and so it's going to be exciting. Everybody wearing red and black wants to beat the people wearing red and blue as bad as they can, and vice versa. And so it's going to be great. I'm glad I'm going to battle with these guys, though.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Of course, we're going to be a visitor this year, so get there early. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be, it always is a zoo in the parking lot in the stadium. So get there early. We'll be a visitor this year, so we'll be on the visitor side. Still going to have the team walk through. I think one of the coolest things any high school team does is walk through the fans
that's fun,
before they come through the tunnel.
Yeah.
That is just so cool. So I can't wait to see that. Anything else before we sign off here?
No, I just want to, big special thanks. We're halfway through this season, and just want to give a shout out to our parents, and our Booster Club supporters. We couldn't do what we do without them, and we get all the support that we need at Grapevine High School, Mustang football, and I'm just very grateful to be able to be a part of this program.
Well, it's a great program, and I'm glad to still be a part of it, even though my sons have graduated. It meant the world to them, and being a part of it, I'm still proud to be a part of it. So anyway, with that, we'll sign off. We'll say a special thanks to Kim Assad and Compass for sponsoring us again. Special thanks to Bottle Cap for hosting us here. Special thanks to Davis and his crew for everything they've done to make it happen. And everyone, we will see you again. Next week, we'll be at Classic Chevrolet. Go Mustangs.
Mustangs.
What we want to do with the Assad group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level of service, because that's what clients want. Hi, I'm Kim Assad with Compass Real Estate. I've lived in Texas since I was 11 years old, and we've lived in Grapevine since 2002. Grapevine is a great area to live in. We love the downtown area. It's like an old Western movie with log cabins. It's known as the Christmas capital of Texas, and we're really proud of our city. We love living here. Our kids grew up in the school district, Grapevine Colleyville ISD. We love their education and have been proud of just the relationships and friendships they've made in the community here. There's been all walks of life, from lots of stay-at-home moms to working parents that do a lot of volunteering for the schools. And that's really kind of how I've met a lot of my clients, is volunteering in the schools, whether I'm the team mom or in the Booster Club, or volunteered with NCL National Charity League, or with my son through Second Saturdays. We've had a great time just meeting so many people in the community. I've been in real estate since 2000. I'm actually a civil engineer by degree, married a civil engineer, and then I got my real estate license back in 2000 and just have loved it ever since, because I love working with people and just the relationship. Real estate is really a relationship business. It's about developing relationships, somebody that trusts you, and that we can help them accomplish their real estate goals. I was a broker on my own before, and I joined Compass because I just love the image and the support that I have with Compass. I mean, our ads look so professional, our listings look so desirable, and it just helps the client out because I can get their home sold faster. But I have the Assad group under Compass. I've grown that with 2 agents initially that have been great agents, and then now my family's even joined. So my husband, who joined Compass about a year ago, and then now my son. I just want to welcome your business, and if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking for a rental, a purchase, to sell your house, or an investment property, just call me.